Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. Happy New Year! Yay! You made it. We made it. I do feel like I just woke up and got out of bed, but I wanted to hop on here because I told you I'd hop on right quick. Sun is in my eyes on the new day of the new year to say Happy New Year to you. And so now what? You made it. You made it. Maybe you didn't think you'd make it. So now what? Now what will you do? Now what will happen? Now what are you looking at for your life? You know, it's really funny when you think about it because it's really just like a demarcation in the process for us to assess where we are on our journey, what we said we were going to do while we were here on this planet, what we said we were going to do just last year, what we said we were going to do just last week. Hi, Beverly Taylor. How are you? Happy New Year. Where are you, my dear? So now what? You know, we start with these new 12 months, and it's a way for us to gauge our progress. We all know that we're on this conveyor belt. We come here going out. We never know when we're going to go out, but we know we're on our way out. So this gives us a chance to pause for a moment and say, okay, we just completed 12 months. What did we do? What worked? What didn't work? What do we want to see happening different going forward? Hi, Angel. Marquez Alvarado. And really assess what did work last go round. What were we good at? Where did we struggle? Where did we need more support? Where did we potentially need more guidance and needed to ask for more help? Or where did we succeed? Where did we do very well? And then how did we do well? What added to our doing well? And so that really gets to be what this is about. It's man-made. In the beginning, I don't know that they had calendars and all of that. They just followed the rhythm of the universe and nature, which we really kind of do too, although we ignore it a lot. So it's really just a time to pause. And we still have the pandemic, so even though we're in 2021, we're like, let's get rid of 2020. Well, we still have some residue from 2020 that's going to be around for some time. So we still have the pandemic, we still have the vaccine, we still have people getting tested, we still have people leaving the planet, either from the vaccine or just because they've old age and they're leaving the planet. So all that's still going on, and yet it's a new day, and yet there's a newness in the air that says that we can begin to look at creating something different for ourselves going forward in our lives and deciding what that's going to look like for ourselves. To just pause for a moment. I know many of you may be having your black eyed peas this morning. I cooked some last night. And others probably are having gumbo. Those seems to be the traditional meals that we seem to have for the new year. But it's also the time to pause. One of the biggest things that hit me when I woke up this morning is I'm in Pasadena, California. Hi, Kat, how are you? Happy New Year. And we're the home of the Rose Parade. And it didn't even cross my mind. I was so we're moving things in the house, and we painted one room, and my son went into another room, and I came back into my bedroom suite. And so, we're moving and moving. And then this morning when I woke up and I thought, wow, Pasadena's quiet. And then it dawned on me, oh my God, the Rose Parade. We're not having the Rose Parade this year. And Pasadena said nothing about it. And then when I turned on the TV, it's a look back at all the other parades. But it wasn't teeming with all that energy that we usually have. There weren't all these tons of RVs everywhere and people everywhere and guests from out of state and a football game that's going to happen at 1. None of that was happening. And it was so clear to me how things were shifting. So yeah, we have a new year. Yeah, we get to mark these 12 months going forward. We get to look at the past 12 months and see what we want to do differently, what we want to show up differently in our life. But it's just a way to help us stay on track. So when we reach that point where it's time for us to leave this planet, we're not saying, oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I meant to do this. Oh, I forgot to do this. No, this is the time where you check yourself and say, what were those things that you wanted to do? And now we have to be creative about finding out how we're going to do them. I've got a list of places I want to travel. So I need for us to move along and be more compassionate with each other, get these doggone masks on, get the vaccine out here and rolling so we can go and explore the world. So, but this is the time to pause. I finally got all my clothes into my closet. I don't know what my son did with his closet and stuff, but we've changed rooms. And now it's really a time to just kind of sit down for a moment and reflect. Where are you going for 2021? Everybody wanted to kick 2020 to the curb, but we learned so much about ourselves in 2020. We're still learning about ourselves in 2020 because we spent so much time with ourselves in 2020. We had an opportunity to hear what we're saying to ourselves and how we're talking to ourselves in 2020. Were able to recognize our self-care, our lack of self-care in 2020. We had to take so much more responsibility for things that we had on automatic pilot in 2020, and we cannot put them back on automatic pilot now that we're in 2021. So there was a lot that we learned, and you want to at least take a moment and recognize it, recognize how amazing you are, recognize the shifts and changes that you made, recognize the storms that you weathered, and see the girth that you've accumulated from this experience and take that into 2021, okay? So we know there's going to be some more shenanigans in the White House, Invisible House, whatever house up there is coming. We know we've got one more election that's happening soon. We're sending love and prayer toward that, depending on what you want to see for the world. And then after that, then it's about us all deciding what are we going to do for our life and what is that going to look like. So this is a time that I do a bit of review. There's a lot going on in the world, but we can choose how we affect us and how we react to it. Absolutely. So this is a time where you can pause and decide how you want to be and show up in the world going forward. Because we're not through. The transformation and evolution that happened in March 13th, March 14th of 2020 is still impacting us now. The residual is happening now. And one thing is clear, everyone is very clear that the students need to be back in school. The kids are really suffering not being in school, not having the interactions. There was a family they were interviewing yesterday where the son was just saying, I cannot do this at home. I have to be in a classroom. So we know that's a big, big push. And my son's school is saying that they're looking at after King's birthday, they're going to bring all their teachers back on campus and gradually look at moving them on campus. They've got to do that. So we still have our hospital beds filled. We still have all of that going on. Just the demarcation from 2020 to 2021 gives us a jump start. It gives us this sense of hope. That's what it is. It gives us a sense of hope that in this newness, things can be different. In this newness, we can be different. In this newness, we can create and bring forth something different in our world globally, but in our individual lives and then with ourselves individually. So that's what this time really is about. Without all the roses and the flowers and the parades and the music, it's hope. Hope for how we are going to move forward in this new year. Hope for us globally, hope for us internationally, hope for us locally, hope for us with our families, hope for us with our individual selves. So I just hopped on here to say Happy New Year's. I don't know what I'm doing today. I don't have any plans. Trying my best not to start off working. I'm so excited. We did complete a 3-month program that I'm going to be offering called Align with Money to Make Room for Wealth. The affirmation cards for my recently published book last year. I published a book last year in spite of the COVID and everything, but we didn't really get to market it. Well, the affirmation cards for the book are now going to be available, so we're excited about that. Money Mastery Now, affirmation cards to go with my book. So that's going to be happening. And that's it. I'm really going to focus on a 3-month program working with women to become fluent around finances, to really make some powerful choices with your finances going forward, and to really begin to shift your mindset so you have a greater understanding of relationship and happiness when it comes to money. And that's what I'm going to be doing. But today, I think I'm just going to hang out and relax. So I trust you will do the same as well. Living is thriving by being home and doing distant learning, but she wants to not be stuck at home. Yeah, they are just, I just don't know. And I realize as a senior, I talked to one of my friends in Seattle, a couple there, Jane and Karina, and their daughter is getting ready to head to the University of Georgia. But her whole senior year just bummed out. She was at home the whole time, and she was a soccer player, so she didn't even get to play soccer all that time. So we still have the residue of what we created, which unfolded last year. It's still the residue of that now, of us learning how to better love ourselves, love each other, take care of ourselves, and really dive deeper within ourselves, not just focusing outward all the time, focusing on the sports, focusing on the playoffs and the runoffs, focusing on, the fighting, the wrestling, and focusing outside of ourselves. So much of what 2020 was about and 2021 will continue to be about is focusing inward, on what's happening within us, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're saying, and then how are we portraying that out into the world. Because that we can control. Can't control the president, can't control all this other stuff. We don't know what will or will not happen with the voting. But what we can control is our own thoughts, our own thinking, our own actions, our own reactions and responses. And to anchor ourselves in something bigger than ourselves and allow that to be what guides and directs our actions as we go forward. And that, I hope, will then bring forth more compassion, more love, and more understanding between us as we continue to deal with this issue of how we feel about each other, ultimately how we feel about ourselves. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful New Year day. You know, and oh, it's good. It's Friday. So we have Friday, we have Saturday, we have Sunday, and then Monday we'll hit the ground running. And just think, 2 more weeks we'll have a vacation, a holiday with Martin Luther King. So take good care. You can see how seniors can be bummed. Oh, yeah, my godfather came and stayed with me. He's 96. And I think I told you guys, he didn't ask. He just said, I'm coming. He calls me Honeyfoot. And I was like, okay. But I was so concerned throughout the whole time when we had COVID back in March. He wanted to come. I said, no. April, no. August, no. You know, September, no. He usually comes for my birthday. I said, no. And then I guess he said, I'm coming. And when he got here, he said, you know, I couldn't think of any other place to be. And I realized how lonely he must have been for all those months in the senior living facility. He said, we just couldn't play. We couldn't do anything with each other. They took away all our activities. So he was determined to come and spend time with myself and my son. And we had a great time. And I said to him, you know, in another month, you need to come back. You need to just continue to come back so we can fuel you and spend time with you. So it really is a bum for them if they don't have the connections. And he said he came because we were alike. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, we don't have any immediate relatives. I said, oh, yeah, we don't have mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, uncles, or uncles. First, immediate family. He said, we only have cousins. And I thought, wow, at his age and my age, we're both in the same situation. But he said he couldn't think of any other place to be. And it was so wonderful having him here. So, yeah, I know the seniors are really, really bummed and taking it. It's tough for them. But it was so much fun to have him here. And he still tells nasty jokes. He still talks crazy. He walks slow, and he takes over my son's bed, and my son doesn't mind. So it was just great to have that connection. And I think that's what we learned a lot last year is how do we make those connections? What are important to us? You know, there's a lot of fanfare. There's a lot of money spent on a lot of things. But what's really important to us is making those connections with those that we love, to really talk with them, to get to know them, to see what they're really all about and what's happening for them. And in the past, we've been running kind of fast. You know, you see somebody, hey, how you doing? I'll see you that holiday, and you keep on going. But 2020 made us slow down and really assess what's important to us, how we want to feel in our life, how we want to feel in our relationships with ourselves, with those we immediately live with, and those who are more distant from us. And what is the importance of all the rituals that we have? And do they all have to be done the same way, the same time, every time, or can we modify it? So much of 2020 was about growing and evolving and transforming, being conscious about what you're doing and how come you're doing it, and what are the results that you want to see. And you can be sure that 2021 is demanding no less of us than 2020. So have a great day. I don't know if you did a lot of cooking. I don't know if you guys had tamales. I don't know if you had gumbo, but whatever it is, enjoy it. Have fun. Yes, call your neighbors. Check on the elders. Just check in with them. You know, I call my godfather 4 or 5 times. He doesn't call me back, but he knows from my messages we're calling, we're checking on him. And then when he gets ready, he calls, and it's great. So those are some of the lessons for me I took away from 2020. And I'm really not looking to expand a whole lot more with my business. I'm going to zero in on those couple of things. And that's it. My son's in the second half of the 11th grade. And then we're heading toward the 12th grade. And I'm just really wondering what that'll be like. But for now, we're going to stay in this moment. Happy New Year to you on this day, to you and yours. Take some time again while you have it. You don't have to go to work, and really get clear on what you want for yourself this year. Not the things, but what do you want to feel like in your life? What do you want to be doing in your life? And what do you want to have for yourself in this life? because those are the things that bring the richness to the experience of being here. It's not all the other stuff. It's not the gadgets that they're trying to sell us to buy. It's those experiences that bring us the richness. And in that richness, we find the happiness, we find the joy, we find the companionship, we find the compassion. And without that richness, we're just empty. Just empty. So this is the time that we get to fill up and keep filling up, going to that fountain that flows of everlasting love and joy and peace and happiness and understanding, and bathing in that, and then walking in the world with that energy and sending that out into the energy as you go on and live your day and do what it is that you've been called to do. To our essential workers, I did take you up on the adopt a nurse, adopt a healthcare worker, and adopt a first responder, and have been sending what I could between you and the election, because I'm really hoping we can help those who are elected with the Senate. And it has just been heartwarming for me to send it. And you know, and it was funny. I thought people were going to be asking for a whole lot of stuff, but you know, they're asking for snacks, so that because they're working nonstop and they're not leaving the hospital, so they're asking like for snacks for them to have and the favorite things that they enjoy. So it has really been fun to be able to send some things to those people who are in the trenches every single moment of every single day, because it's their calling. And I know what it means to live and to live your calling. And while you enjoy it and it's great, you still get tired. You still have to come home to children and a family that desires you, that wants you. But you've been working with people who've been making their transition, who have been in pain, who have been hurting all day. So keep them in your prayer. Keep the essential workers in your prayer. Don't take it for granted. Do not take it for granted. That's somebody's mother, someone's sister, someone's brother, someone's uncle, someone's cousin, someone's father that's there for us if we need them. So let's at least hold them in prayer and love and light as we go on forward on this amazing journey. And have a happy new year. You know, I just kind of look like I just kind of woke up, because I did just kind of wake up. But take good care, and I'll check in on you on Wednesday. Happy New Year. Happy 2020. 21 rather. Happy 2021. And the other thing is, because of 2020, I am very aware, because Kobe just caught me off guard. I'm like, okay, what's going to be happening? Who's doing what? You know, because Kobe hit us like that first or second week of January. So I must say I am more aware and alert to see, okay, is anything going to be happening we need to be aware of? I don't think so. I think we already have enough that's going on that hasn't been resolved or come full circle, that we're going to stay where we are a little bit longer. Take good care. Love to you all, your families. Prayers to all of you. Keeping you all in high light, love, and energy going forward. And have an incredible day. Bye for now. Hey, Happy New Year to you too, Beverly, and Kat, and Crystal, you come back on here. Yes, indeed. Angel, bye for now.